Hi.
Hi.
We're getting chickens.
Yes.
We're getting backyard chickens. And we just wanted to tell you a little bit about it because it's a lot easier than you would think. And I think there's a lot of people that are thinking about doing it, but they're not sure how to go about it. So we just wanted to share our experience with you and let you know what we went through to get them in order to be here. Right now behind us, that's where we're going to put the chicken coop. But that's where it's going to go. We're going to have baby chickens. Ordered the chickens. They're coming in a couple of weeks. I have excited people over here behind me. Very excited young people. Very excited old people. Sean's going to tell you what he did, how we got the ball rolling, how we got it started.
Okay. Well, first, we live in the city, and all livestock, including chickens, is not permitted. But we knew that we could apply for a special use permit. So that's what we did. I went to the building department and I applied for the permit. The permit cost $100. And the planning board meeting was the very first meeting we went to. And apparently that is connected with the building inspection department.
They said no.
And yes, they all voted to not recommend that we get chickens.
They were kind of grumpy too.
A little bit.
They were grumpy.
So then I thought we were done because no one wanted it at all.
Right.
And basically I told them what we wanted. I showed them a copy of our land survey where the coop would be and the pen would be. I told them that I spoke with all the neighbors that have property adjacent to ours, and they all were okay with us having chickens. I told them that we would keep the compost in a metal can so it wouldn't attract rodents or it wouldn't smell or be unsanitary.
Yeah, the guy said that he didn't believe us. He thought that we would not do what we said we would do.
Yeah, well, yeah.
That was kind of rude.
The reason was that they said it was too much of a burden for the building inspection department to keep an eye on us to make sure that our 8 chickens didn't turn into 20 chickens.
Like we're going to have a poultry farm
and that
be a sloppy mess.
Yeah, and that we just did what we were supposed to do. So I was pretty discouraged.
Yeah, me too.
I thought we were done. And I wasn't even going to continue it further. But on the way out, we talked to actually the
building
inspector. And he said, don't give up. There's another meeting that might overrule this meeting.
Yeah.
And it was with the Common Council. So apparently the Common Council has the final say. So Aaron and I and our kids went to the meeting. We thought, well, at first I didn't even want to go because I thought we had no chance. But I decided, we're going to go. Aaron went, and the atmosphere was a lot better there. Everyone was cheerful.
Yeah.
And they had a public hearing where people could speak out and say what they thought about us having chickens. A couple of people got up. One guy said, "Hey, let them have their chickens.
Leave the guy alone. Let him have his chickens."
Yeah. Someone else, she didn't really care whether or not we had chickens, but she said that you might want to be aware of flies because where she lived, there were chickens and there were a lot of flies.
But that doesn't make sense now that we understand that chickens eat fly larvae. So.
Yeah, so that might have been something else causing that issue. Then someone else said something too. I don't remember what that was.
I don't even know what she was talking about.
It didn't seem relevant.
No, because there was also dog barking issues.
Yeah.
So it had really nothing to do with us.
Yeah, she wanted to make sure the chickens weren't loud.
Right.
So then the Common Council consisted of the mayor and the 8 aldermen for the 8 different wards in our city.
Mm-hmm.
And
they all said
they asked me a couple questions.
Yeah.
They asked, what did they ask?
He was awesome. He like walked up there and he was like, we're going to do this and da 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 da. And do you have any questions?
Well, they were
Yeah,
asking
right.
questions.
And but you like had control of the whole situation. Like you were in control and you were presenting and you knew what you were talking about. And even the one woman said, she's like, I was very impressed with how we put together all the paperwork. So I think it's important to get all that together, have the plan, the plan
Yeah.
of, have a plan together of where you're going to put the coop, show them at your property, that kind of thing.
They wanted to make sure that we knew what we were doing,
Right.
and we
So,
weren't going to have a big disaster.
yeah, right.
She asked if we had experience with this before. I said no, but we do have friends that have chickens that would
Yeah.
help us.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I'm trying to think.
It was very exciting. Everybody in the room was excited.
Yeah, they all voted yes.
All the people
No one voted no.
that were there were all turning around smiling at us and like, yeah.
It seemed like everyone
they were
was
like,
for it.
yeah. I'm honestly surprised there aren't more people trying to have chickens. I think that they can't, so they don't pursue it. You said that when you were looking that there's even New York City you can have chickens. In New York City,
I saw an article that mentioned
for a couple, somehow, like there's certain things you have to do, but you can actually have chickens in the city.
Yeah, some pretty large cities.
Buffalo, yeah, Buffalo, New York. That's close to us.
And some other cities around.
So
there.
yeah, so it's something that can be done, and I just think people don't know that they can do it.
Yeah, and if you don't succeed at first, don't give up. If you really want them,
Mm-hmm.
Find out why they said no. Find out why your neighbors don't like it, and
yeah,
do what you have to do.
Teach them about it. The more you learn about chickens, they're not as long. They don't want you to have roosters. That's a lot of the times, but because that's that's going to be loud in the city, and a lot of people don't like that. But if you just want hens, they're not loud. Certain breeds are quieter than others. So if you learn about those, you can have hens and they're actually quieter than dogs. The dogs, that are barking. We have a dog over here that likes to bark at Chappie. And, they like talk back and forth across the fence. But
and the paper they gave us had some conditions that I'd like to talk about. Okay, so there were some conditions for us to have chickens. First one is no change in the character of the neighborhood. So they want to make sure we don't turn our backyard into a public petting zoo. Another one is no excessive noise or disturbance of the neighborhood. Another one is no appreciable change in traffic.
I don't know what that would mean.
I don't know how chickens would change traffic.
Yeah, I don't know.
Unless they're in the road blocking cars.
Oh, yeah.
Another one was no outside storage of materials. So I think they want us to keep the feed in the house.
Right.
It's important to them that this doesn't attract pests.
Yeah.
Like rats and things like that. So basically, they just want to make sure the neighborhood doesn't get worse, and that it doesn't attract pests, and it's not excessively loud.
Right.
So that's really all they see there.
So we're really yeah. So we're really excited. This is it's really something new for us. That was not on the radar. I remember I said to you once when we first started homeschooling, it seemed like it was a thing that a lot of homeschoolers I knew had chickens. And I said to him, I don't ever want chickens. Don't worry. I don't want chickens. Never say never. So here we are. We ordered the chickens. We went and bought this the other day, the little feeder thing for the babies, the little water thing, and we're learning a lot. I'm learning. It's a big learning curve, huge learning curve. But I just want to encourage people because I know that there are people that have thought about it maybe for years, or at least in the past few years. And it's something that's possible, even in the city. And even in a larger city, like I don't consider us a huge city. We're kind of in it feels more like a large town than a city sometimes. So, but it can be done in the city, it can be done anywhere. And it's exciting to be able to have your own food, to be self-sufficient, to not have to be concerned with where your eggs are coming from. That's the key. That's the root at what we want for our family is just to have more access to our own food, to know where it's coming from, to know what the chickens are eating, because that whatever the chickens are eating is going into our eggs that we then consume. So it's just important for us to have all these things, and it's really exciting. I can't believe that there's going to be a coop behind us with little chickens running around.
Yeah, it seems strange that they would be in the city here.
So we're doing what we can with what we have, where we are, and it's not too late to start. We've started. We've started.
Yeah.
This is now going to be a farm. Like, yeah, I guess we do.
Yes, more like a homestead.
Yeah, can't stop homestead.
Nope.
Can't stop homestead. So that's it for today. This is our chicken episode 1. We will have more as more becomes available. They're going to be about 2 weeks out now. So you have to build a brooder. We have some ideas on how we're going to build our brooder that our daughter figured out.
Yes, she has a great idea for a brooder.
Yes.
We're going to make.
And so we're going to do that. And we are also going to train our dog, Chappie, not to want to kill the little baby chickens. So that's going to be interesting. Here she comes. She heard her name. Chappie. Here she is. Okay. So, yeah. Timo Supremo.
That's right.